Good morning, class 7. Today we shall start a grammar topic, adjectives. Children, I am sure you must have studied adjectives in your primary classes as well. So the topic is not new to you. You know what is adjective. You know that there are many kinds of adjectives also. But today we are going to revise everything so that you are well familiar with the topic once again. First, I am reading out the definition to you. An adjective is a word used to add something to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun. An adjective is a word used to add to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun. For example, if I say, he is a clever boy. He is a clever boy. Now, boy is the noun in this sentence. We are telling something about that boy. What we are telling? That he is a clever boy. So clever becomes an adjective in this sentence. So again I am repeating the definition. An adjective is a word that adds something to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun. As I just told you the example, he is a clever boy. We are adding something to the noun. What are we adding? The quality of that boy. And the quality of that boy is that he is a clever boy. Okay, so if we are adding something to the meaning of a noun or a pronoun, it will be called as an adjective. Now, next thing is kinds of adjectives. How many kinds of adjectives are there? There are 6 kinds of adjectives. First is adjective of quality, second adjective of quantity, third adjective of number, fourth interrogative adjective, fifth demonstrative adjective, and sixth possessive adjective. Now let us discuss each kind of adjective line by line, and then along with examples I will keep telling you so that you know how they look different, how they are different from one another, and how you will identify whether it is adjective of quality, quantity, number, it is demonstrative adjective, interrogative adjective, or possessive adjective. First, let us take up adjective of quality. An adjective of quality describes the quality of a person or a thing. Let us take that example only which I gave a few minutes back. He is a clever boy. What are we saying? He is a clever boy. So clever is the quality of that boy. Hence, if I ask you what kind of adjective is clever, you will say adjective of quality. So adjective of quality tells some quality of a person or a thing. If I say the teacher asked a difficult question. The teacher asked a difficult question. Now, what kind of quality is being described here? Difficult. What kind of a question the teacher asked? Difficult question. That is why the word difficult will be taken as adjective of quality. Another example. Pandit Nehru was a popular leader. You must have heard of Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was a popular leader, especially among children. He was very much liked by children. That is why children call him Chacha Nehru. So the sentence is Pandit Nehru was a popular leader. What kind of a leader? Popular leader. So popular here becomes adjective of quality. Another example. She told a funny story. She told a funny story. The quality of the speciality of the story is that it is a funny story. So funny here becomes adjective of quality. So you must remember that adjective of quality tells you some speciality, some quality of a person or a thing. Or in other words, you can say it answers the question, what kind of? It answers the question, what kind of? He told me a funny story. What kind of a story? Funny story. Pandit Nehru was a popular leader. What kind of a leader? Popular leader. So, if you are getting the answer to the question what kind of, that means it is adjective of quality. Now, second adjective. Adjective of quantity. An adjective of quantity specifies the quantity of a thing. The adjective of quantity specifies the quantity of a thing. It answers the question how much. Quantity, how much. For example, we have enough food for a month. We have enough food for a month. How much food? Enough food. So if you are asking the question how much and you are getting your answer, that means it is adjective of quantity. How much? How much is quantity? Just remember this. This is important, children. I am repeating this because it is important. Adjective of quantity answers the question how much. We need some water also. We need some water also. Here the word some shows quantity. How much water? Some water. Third, the car gave me much trouble. The car gave me much trouble. Much again shows quantity. How much trouble? Much trouble. So I am repeating, the adjective of quantity specifies the quantity of a thing and it answers the question how much. Third, adjective of number. Adjective of number. As the name itself tells you, that adjective of number tells how many persons or things we are talking about. How many persons or things we are talking about. Now here again you must remember one thing, that adjective of number you can count also. How many persons or things you can count also, but quantity can be measured, it can't be counted. Example of adjectives of number. Listen properly. 5 passengers got into the bus. 5 passengers. Can you count 5 passengers? Yes, we can. 5 passengers got into the bus. Many friends helped him. Many friends helped him. Although the word many can be any number, but still it is countable. You can count how many friends helped him. He can speak several languages. He can speak several languages. If you want, you can count. You can ask that person to count and tell how many languages can he speak. So the adjective of number answers the question how many. This is a very important difference between adjective of quantity and adjective of number. Adjective of quantity answers the question how much. How much of a thing. How much. An adjective of number talks about how many people, how many languages, etc. How many, you can count them. Now here I am reading out a small piece of information for you, although you don't have to learn this, but just for your knowledge I am reading it out. Adjectives like third, fifth, 11th are derived from numbers. Adjectives fifth is derived from the word 5. These adjectives are called adjectives of number. I am reading again. Adjectives like third, fifth, 10th, 11th, all these are derived from numbers. Fifth has come from 5, number 5. 11th from number 11. 10th from number 10. So these adjectives are called adjectives of number. Then one important information, maybe you know, but I am just reading out because since you are reading adjectives, you should know all this. Nouns can be countables and uncountables. Countable noun means we can count them. Uncountables means we can't count them. Books are countable. Milk is uncountable. Isn't it? Suppose I say, give me some milk. Can you count milk? You can't count milk. You can measure how much milk. Half a liter, 1 liter, 2 liters, how much milk. You can count. That is why give me some milk. Some will be adjective of quantity. Give me some water. Adjective of quantity. So, books are countable. Books are countable nouns. You can count books. If you have 50 books in your desk, still you can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 till 50 you can count them. They are not uncountable. You can easily count them. Milk is uncountable. An adjective used with an uncountable noun is adjective of quantity. I just told you. A few minutes back I have told you that adjective of quantity means uncountable. Quantity can be measured. Quantity cannot be counted. Whereas adjective of number always relates to something which is countable. Number you can count. Even if there are 1,000, you can count. If you have time, if you have patience, you can count them. So, number can be counted, it is countable, and quantity can be measured, it is uncountable. Another example. We have sufficient milk. We have sufficient milk. Here, sufficient is adjective of quantity and milk is uncountable noun. We have sufficient books. Here, sufficient is used as adjective of number and books is a countable noun. I am repeating both the examples. Look at their difference. We have sufficient milk. As I just told you that milk can be measured. You can't count milk. So, here sufficient is taken as adjective of quantity because quantity can be measured, it can't be counted. It is uncountable. Milk is uncountable noun. So here sufficient will act as adjective of quantity. Another example. We have sufficient books. We have sufficient books. Can you count books? Yes, we can count. So, books is books is a countable noun. So, here sufficient will act as adjective of number. I hope it is clear, children. I am repeating quickly once again. See, in both the examples, the word sufficient is used as an adjective. But how you will decide whether sufficient is acting here as adjective of quantity or adjective of number? You will see that the noun which is used in the sentence is a countable noun or an uncountable noun. In the first example, we have sufficient milk. Milk is uncountable noun. So here the word sufficient will act as adjective of quantity. In the second example, we have sufficient books. Here books is a countable noun. We can count books. So here sufficient will act as adjective of number. Next, demonstrative adjectives. Demonstrative adjectives. The word demonstrative here means that we are pointing out, we are talking about a particular thing or we are talking about a particular person. Demonstrating, that means we are pointing out, we are talking about a specific person or thing. That is why it is called as demonstrative adjective. For example, these walls need whitewashing. These walls, when you are saying these walls, that means you are specifying which walls? These walls. You are pointing out towards specific walls. So when you are pinpointing towards anything, when you are specifying any particular thing, it will act as demonstrative adjective. Another example, such students always get good marks. Such students always get good marks. Such students here means you are talking about some specific students. Which students? Such students. That means you are pointing out towards some specific category of students. So here such will be demonstrative adjective. Another example is, a certain king was very kind. You are talking about a particular king who was kind. You are talking about a specific person. So here the word certain is used as demonstrative adjective. In other words, we can say demonstrative adjectives are used to point out at any person or thing. We will always talk about specific people or thing in this case. We will point out towards a specific person or thing if it is a demonstrative adjective. Now I am reading out one line which is important for you all to remember also. We do not have many demonstrative adjectives. That means there are very few words. There are very few words which are used as demonstrative adjectives. You will see only this, these, that, those, yonder, such and certain are used as demonstrative adjectives. Okay, this children you should write down in the copy also. When you will see the PDF, whatever things are written in the PDF from the starting till the end, everything you will have to write down neatly in your grammar copy, so that whenever you want to revise, you can revise that. I am repeating, there are very few words which are used as demonstrative adjectives. They are this, these, those, that, yonder, such and certain. Yonder also means that particular, far off, that. Yonder indicates something in particular, but it is far away. Okay, now interrogative adjectives. An adjective which is used with a noun asking a question is called interrogative adjective. Interrogative word you have studied so many times. In the first chapter, the sentence, you studied interrogative sentences. So you know very well what is the meaning of interrogative. Interrogative itself means asking a question. Example, what question did the teacher ask? Here the word what is asking a question. It is interrogative adjective. Interrogative adjectives are used with noun. They are used with a noun to ask a question. What question did the teacher ask? Question is a noun here. What is interrogative adjective? Which umbrella is yours? Umbrella is a noun here. Which is interrogative adjective. Whose painting has won the prize? Painting is a noun here, and whose is interrogative adjective. The last category is possessive adjectives. Possessive adjectives. Now, what is the meaning of the word possess? Possess means to own something, something which belongs to you. For example, if I say, this is my book. If I point out at the book and say, this is my book, that means I possess this book. I am the owner of this book. This book belongs to me. Okay, so the word possess or possessive means it shows possession or belonging. Something that belongs to a particular person. He possesses that person. Suppose you say, this car is mine. That means you are the owner of the car. You possess that car. This car belongs to you. So possessive adjectives show possession or belonging. For example, your dresses are beautiful. Your dresses are beautiful. Here the word your shows possession. The person whom you are talking, he is the owner of the dresses. The dresses belong to him. So your is possessive adjective in this sentence. Another example, our car needs repair. Our car needs repair. This again shows that the car which we are talking about is our car. We own the car. We possess the car. The car belongs to us. So our here shows that it is possessive adjective. Now, these are all kinds of adjectives, 6 kinds. Adjective of quality, adjective of quantity, adjective of number, demonstrative adjective, interrogative adjective, and possessive adjective. Now another thing is degrees of comparison. In adjectives, children, there are degrees of comparison also. We compare 2 or more things. Maybe you know this. I am repeating. What are the degrees of comparison? There are 3 degrees of comparison. There are 3 degrees of comparison. The first degree is called positive degree. The second degree is called comparative degree. And the third degree is called superlative degree. I am repeating. There are 3 degrees of comparison. First is called positive degree. Second is called comparative degree, and third is called superlative degree. Now what happens in the positive degree? The adjective is written as it is. You don't compare with anyone. In the comparative degree, which is the second type, you compare 2 persons or 2 things. Remember, in the comparative degree, 2 persons or 2 things are compared. In the third category, that is the superlative degree, we compare more than 2 people or more than 2 things. So, in the positive degree, no comparison is made. In the comparative degree, we compare 2 people or 2 things. The third category, superlative degree, in which we compare more than 2 people or 2 things. I am giving you one simple example. First, positive degree. He is a good boy. He is a good boy. Am I comparing the boy with any other boy? No. Good is adjective, adjective of quality. We are writing this adjective just as it is. Why? Because we are not comparing the boy with anybody else in this sentence. Second example of now I will compare 2 boys. So it is coming in the category of comparative degree. Okay. Ram is better than Shyam. Ram is better than Shyam. We are comparing 2 boys, Ram and Shyam. Ram is better than Shyam. So the comparative degree is better. Why we are using comparative degree only? Why not superlative degree? Because we are comparing 2 boys, Ram and Shyam. Third example, it is going to show you the superlative degree. Ramesh is the best boy in the class. Ramesh is the best boy in the class. Best is the superlative degree. Why? Because now we are comparing Ramesh with all students in the class. The class, if you take in the minimum side, it will have at least 40 students. 35, 40, 45, 50, it can be any number of students. So when we are comparing Ramesh with all other students in the class, we are not talking about only 2 students now. We are comparing Ramesh with all other children in the class. So we are using superlative degree. Ramesh is the best boy in the class. So what are the 3 degrees we have used in 3 different sentences? Good, better, best. Good is the positive degree. We are not comparing anybody, so it remains positive. Better is the second category, is the second degree of comparison. We are comparing 2 persons or 2 things in the comparative degree. Third is best. Best is the superlative degree. In this, we compare more than 2 people or more than 2 things. Okay? Now another thing which you should remember always, one important thing is related to comparative degree and one is related to superlative degree. In comparative degree, in most of the cases you will see, exceptions are everywhere, but generally you will see that we use than. We use than when we are comparing anything, when we are using comparative degree. A is better than B. These mangoes are better than those. Apples are better than lemons. Ramesh is better than his brother. Wherever we are comparing 2 people or 2 things, we are always using than. He is taller than his brother. She is smarter than her sister. So you are seeing, wherever we are using or wherever we are comparing 2 people or 2 things, we are using than. Another thing relating to superlative degree. Whenever you are using superlative degree, you should always use article the. He is the tallest boy in the class. He is the most intelligent boy of his class. He is the oldest member in his family. Wherever we are using the superlative degree, we are always using article the. So these are small things but very important things which you should always keep in mind while using degrees of comparison. Okay, now another thing is that we form adjectives in different ways. We form adjectives by using nouns, we form adjectives by using verbs, and we also form adjectives by using adjective themselves. Now let us discuss how do we make adjectives by using nouns. For example, honor. Honor is a noun, abstract noun. Honor becomes honorable. Beauty becomes beautiful. Slave becomes slavish. Now how do we make adjectives from verbs? Quarrel. Quarrel is a verb. Quarrel becomes quarrelsome. Talk becomes talkative. Now how do we make adjectives? By using one adjective. From adjective we are making another adjective. How? Let us see. Black. Suppose I say this dress is black in color. So here black is acting as an adjective. How we will make another adjective? Black, blackish. White, whitish. Grey, greyish. Red, reddish, etc. Another thing, we also use adjectives by using some suffixes. Now children, maybe you have studied in some previous classes or you have not studied. I am telling you, there are 2 things, prefix and suffix. Prefix, from the word itself you can guess, pre means before. Prefix, any word if you are adding before a word, it becomes prefix. For example, If you take a word advantage and I ask you to make an opposite of advantage, will become disadvantage. Advantage, disadvantage. So which prefix we have added to the word advantage? Dis. D-I-S. Dis. Disadvantage. So if you are adding any word before a word to make a new word, it will be called as prefix. The words which you are adding, like disadvantage, dis you are adding, so dis will be the prefix. Now we make some adjectives by adding suffix. Suffix means a word is added after a word. Suppose I ask you, take a word use, U-S-E, use. Add a suffix, F-U-L. Suffix is a word, F-U-L is a suffix which you have to add to the word use, and you make a new word. So what word you are making? Useful. Use is the word, F-U-L is the suffix. You are adding this suffix to the word use to make a new word. What word did you make? Useful. So always remember, prefix means any words. It can be one single word, it can be two words or three words. If you are adding any word before a word, it is prefix. If you are adding any word after a word, it is suffix. So now here we will discuss some newly formed adjectives by adding suffixes. The suffixes are al, ful, y and ous. Now let us see what new words are we going to make. Fame, fame, F-A-M-E, fame. If you add ous to this word, it will make a new adjective, famous. Duty, D-U-T-Y, duty. If you add F-U-L to this word, it will become dutiful. D-U-T-I-F-U-L, dutiful. Another word, fire, F-I-R-E, fire. If you add only Y to this word, it will become fiery, F-I-E-R-Y, F-I-E-R-Y. Next word, habit, H-A-B-I-T, habit. If you add A-L to this word, it will become habitual, H-A-B-I-T-U-A-L, habitual. So you have